To think correctly, in the broadest and most fundamental sense, is to embrace positive thoughts over negative ones. It is to envision success instead of failure, health instead of sickness, love instead of hate, joy instead of melancholy, optimism instead of pessimism, abundance instead of poverty, triumph instead of defeat, and freedom instead of limitation. When your inner world changes, your actions inevitably follow suit, leading to a profound transformation of your life and circumstances. As correct thinking replaces erroneous thinking, your character and personality evolve in a positive direction, influencing and improving your life and circumstances. This is why the scriptures wisely advise, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." But right thinking, in its highest form, goes even beyond this. It involves thinking from a vastly elevated state of consciousness, from an entirely new perspective. It means thinking from the standpoint of the universal mind, replacing your own weak, limited, and finite mind. It means thinking with the unwavering conviction that love, perfection, health, and harmony are the ultimate realities. This kind of thinking liberates you from the enslavement of the senses and the tyranny of desire. It allows you to live life on a higher octave, on an entirely different plane. It empowers you to transcend the limitations of time and the senses, to tap into the consciousness of eternal life and being. To think correctly is to think and live with the awareness that all is well. It is to know in your very soul that God's ways are perfect, that He makes no mistakes, and that everything works together for the fulfillment of His divine purpose. It is to know that perfection exists right now, and to act with the conviction of this knowledge. While entering this higher consciousness does not make us omniscient, it does grant us the revelation that Jesus spoke of, the truth that sets us free. The difference between thinking on the lower plane of the senses and the mind and thinking on the higher plane of the universal mind is beautifully described in Isaiah 55. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways." Therefore, to think with God, the aspiration of every truth-seeker, requires rising far above the ordinary level of human thought. It demands thinking in an entirely higher consciousness. There are moments when the universe whispers, inviting us to step onto a higher path. It's a call to shed old habits and embrace a new mindset, a journey towards a profound inner transformation. Just as the scriptures speak of turning away from negativity and towards divine mercy, we too can awaken to the boundless possibilities of the cosmic mind. History is filled with examples of individuals who tapped into this universal consciousness. Jesus, through his teachings and miracles, demonstrated the power of aligning with this higher realm. The wisdom he shared resonates most deeply when we acknowledge its source, a realm far beyond ordinary human understanding. You too have the capacity to ascend to this elevated state. It's from this superconscious plane that true healing and liberation flow. Right thinking, in harmony with divine intelligence, is the key. This is not about impractical dreams or mystical detachment. It's about a practical and powerful shift in perspective. As someone who has navigated the turbulent waters of business and life, I can attest to the transformative power of right thinking. Starting from humble beginnings, I faced countless challenges and obstacles, yet I discovered that nothing is as valuable as aligning my thoughts with a higher purpose. This isn't just theoretical, it's a lived reality. The rewards of embracing a mindset in tune with the divine are beautifully described by the prophet Isaiah. He paints a picture of joy, peace, and abundance, where thorns give way to flourishing trees, and negativity is replaced with everlasting beauty. This isn't mere poetry, it's a blueprint for a life well lived. Those who master the art of right thinking experience a profound shift. Fear, discord, and suffering fade, making way for genuine success, harmony, and vibrant health. This philosophy isn't about a distant paradise, it's about experiencing joy, health, and fulfillment right here, right now. It's about recognizing that life is inherently spiritual and that we are spiritual beings. Our physical bodies are simply a manifestation of this deeper truth. When we embrace this reality, we unlock a world of possibilities. We realize that true triumph, health, happiness, and love are all rooted in spiritual power. The art of living becomes a journey of developing, training, and harnessing these inner forces. This is a philosophy of joy, a celebration of the human spirit. It's an invitation to awaken from the slumber of negativity and embrace the vibrant life that awaits. It's a reminder that laughter, health, and a deep appreciation for life are your birthright. So, let go of limiting beliefs and step into your cosmic potential. Embrace the transformative power of right thinking and unlock a life of joy, abundance, and profound purpose. True education isn't about rote learning or external achievements. It's about igniting the spark of divinity within. This inner transformation can't be forced or imposed. It blossoms through a subtle, subjective process. Right thinking, infused with spiritual awareness, awakens your dormant potential, empowering you to achieve genuine success, cultivate harmony in your relationships, and radiate vibrant health. It's about discovering the boundless joy and optimism that uplifts not only your own life, but also the lives of those around you. This isn't some esoteric philosophy. It's a practical system rooted in timeless truths. By distilling the essence of ancient wisdom and applying it to modern life, we've created a powerful tool for navigating life's challenges. At its core, this philosophy reveals that life isn't random or chaotic. It operates according to precise laws. Just as a farmer reaps what they sow, your thoughts shape your reality. By aligning your thoughts with these universal laws, you gain the power to create your life with mathematical precision. This knowledge clears the doubt and confusion that frequently obstruct our way. Life is now a science rather than a mystery. In the same way that we have used electricity to power our machines and light up our cities, we can use mental energy to achieve amazing things. Imagine living a life free from the capricious influence of fate and circumstances. You take control of your destiny when you acquire the knowledge and comprehension of correct thinking. You travel through life with self-assurance, purpose, and clarity. This is about a profound sense of inner serenity, not just about accomplishment on the outside. The indisputable fact that our ideas construct our world explains the enormous effects of thinking correctly. In true sense, our thoughts are who we are. Our world is shaped by every idea, conviction, and goal we have. If your life feels chaotic or unfulfilling, it's largely a reflection of past disharmonious thoughts. But here's the empowering truth. You have the power to change your thoughts and, in doing so, change your life. Every thought, whether positive or negative, sets in motion a corresponding chain of events. You can't escape the consequences of your thoughts. They return to you with unwavering accuracy. The ancient wisdom, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he," isn't just a proverb. It's a law of the universe. Embrace the transformative power of right thinking. Cultivate a mindset of positivity, abundance, and unwavering faith in your own potential. As you align your thoughts with the universal laws of creation, you'll witness a profound shift in your life. Joy, health, success, and harmonious relationships will blossom, and you'll step into a life of purpose, fulfillment, and lasting peace. Imagine the universe as a grand symphony, orchestrated not by chance or whim, but by precise and unwavering laws. In this harmonious dance, every action has a reaction, every cause an effect. If your life feels out of tune, discordant, or filled with challenges, it's not a matter of luck or misfortune. It's a direct reflection of your thoughts. You might protest, but what about actions and mistakes? Surely they have consequences too. Indeed they do, but those actions and mistakes are born from a deeper source, your thoughts. Negative thoughts manifest as negative actions, just as seeds planted in fertile soil inevitably bear fruit. Dwelling on self-pity or harboring resentment is like watering weeds in your mental garden. It's a waste of precious energy that could be channeled towards growth and transformation. Others may say, if we can't escape the consequences of our thoughts, why bother trying to change them? This is when the real benefit of thinking positively manifests itself. We possess the innate capacity to become proficient in our mental processes with committed practice and focus. It's true that ideas can ebb and flow, much like trying to catch smoke. But you may develop a mind that is peaceful, concentrated, and in line with your highest goals if you practice consistently and have unshakable patience. Just think of all the possibilities. Your perspective will shift from one of negativity to one of empowerment and progress. You'll mold the future with purpose and intention rather than running away from it. Your life will turn into a work of harmony, beauty, and fulfillment. As you align your thoughts with the infinite wisdom of the universe, your very being will transform. Harmony will replace discord, health will flourish, and a deep sense of peace will settle within. You'll tap into the boundless wellspring of divine energy that resides within you, manifesting as success, abundance, and a life of joyful service. This isn't about denying life's challenges, it's about navigating them with grace and resilience. By shedding the weight of negativity and embracing the power of right thinking, you'll experience a life filled with meaning, purpose, and unshakable joy. Remember, the universe responds to your thoughts. Choose wisely, and watch as your life unfolds in extraordinary ways. Right thinking, or thinking in alignment with truth, is the key to unlocking a life of harmony and abundance. It's about recognizing that true goodness isn't simply the absence of negativity. It's a vibrant, positive force that permeates every aspect of your being. Unfortunately, many people view good as merely the lack of bad. Health is seen as the absence of disease, and happiness is the absence of misfortune. They miss the radiant vitality of true well-being and the effervescent joy of a life fully lived. Divine life is perfect, and when allowed to flow unimpeded, it manifests as pure goodness. However, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and ignorance can distort this flow, creating disharmony, lack, and suffering. Many individuals live in fear of the consequences of past mistakes, believing they are trapped by their karma. This mindset only perpetuates their struggles. But what if, instead of resisting life, we embraced the transformative power of truth? By understanding, thinking, and living in alignment with truth, we can dissolve even the most stubborn challenges. It's futile to fight against the currents of life. But by facing each difficulty with courage and wisdom, by choosing thoughts that resonate with truth, we can turn obstacles into opportunities. As our inner landscape shifts, external circumstances begin to mirror this transformation. Moreover, as we raise our vibration through right thinking, we become less susceptible to negativity. External influences lose their power to harm us as we ascend to higher states of consciousness. The immediate impact of our thoughts on our bodies, minds, relationships, and overall well-being is profound. Every thought is a seed, and every action is the fruit it bears. Whether impulsive or deliberate, our actions stem from the thoughts we've nurtured. Your subconscious mind is a powerhouse of energy, acting upon the impressions it receives from your conscious thoughts. It's a faithful servant, carrying out your commands, whether those commands are rooted in fear or empowerment. True self-mastery begins with mastering your thoughts. By cultivating a mindset of positivity, courage, and unwavering faith, you unleash the incredible potential within. If you believe you can achieve a goal, your subconscious mind will mobilize all its resources to support you. Conversely, negative thoughts breed self-doubt and create obstacles. The good news is that you have the power to choose your thoughts. With consistent practice and unwavering determination, you can cultivate a mind that is focused, disciplined, and aligned with your highest good. Embrace the transformative power of right thinking. As you shift your inner landscape, you'll witness a ripple effect of positive change in every area of your life. Harmony, health, abundance, and joy will blossom, and you'll step into your true power as a co-creator of your reality. Your thoughts cause vibrations to travel throughout your body and into the environment. Much like a pebble thrown into a still pond causes ripples to spread outward. Unwanted events can spiral out of control when negative thought patterns and unhealthy habits coexist. Fortunately, you have the ability to change your inner landscape and change your reality. Imagine saying to yourself, "What a horrible morning," as you wake up to a wet day. This straightforward remark casts a negative light on everyone around you as well as on yourself. Negativity is ingrained in your subconscious mind, and it manifests itself in the way you act and interact. Now think of another strategy. You accept that rain is necessary for nature to grow, rather than complaining about it. You recognize the potential for beauty to arise after a storm. This change in outlook lifts everyone around you, as well as your own spirits. Similarly, dwelling on feelings of illness or inadequacy sends a message to your body and mind. Your subconscious, ever the obedient servant, responds by lowering your vitality and making you more susceptible to negativity. However, if you consciously choose to affirm your well-being, visualizing a state of perfect health, your entire system receives a surge of positive energy. Every cell in your body responds to this message, working tirelessly to manifest your desired reality. The same principle applies to your business or career. If you constantly worry about competition or anticipate failure, your actions will unconsciously align with those fears, potentially leading to their realization. But if you cultivate a mindset of confidence and unwavering belief in your abilities, you'll attract success and abundance. The philosophy of right thinking goes beyond mere positive affirmations. It teaches us that our thoughts, held consistently and with clarity, attract the very circumstances and experiences that mirror them. A mind filled with confusion and negativity will manifest a life of chaos and struggle. Conversely, a mind trained in right thinking, focused on harmony and abundance, will create a reality that reflects those qualities. The most profound message of this philosophy is that by dedicating time each day to cultivate your inner world, you can replace negativity with positivity, fear with courage, and lack with abundance. Through meditation on divine perfection, you'll gradually transform yourself into a reflection of that perfection. This isn't about wishful thinking or relying on luck. It's about aligning yourself with the immutable laws of the universe. True success, happiness, and fulfillment flow from this alignment. As you embrace your spiritual nature and tap into the infinite power within, your life will undergo a remarkable transformation. Day by day, negativity will dissolve, replaced by a sense of deep joy and inner peace that transcends external circumstances. You'll become a beacon of light, not only for yourself but also for those around you. This is the essence of true prayer and the path to lasting success. It's about recognizing your divine connection and harnessing the boundless creative power of the universe. As you step into this awareness, you'll witness the miraculous unfolding of a life filled with purpose, abundance, and unwavering joy. Have you ever had the feeling that bad things are always just around the corner, waiting to steal any moment of contentment or achievement? Although it's a typical occurrence, it doesn't have to be your reality. The fact is that you are not being harmed by outside forces. The difficulties you encounter are frequently a mirror of internal discord, a mismatch between your ideas and the way the reality naturally unfolds. Your life starts to change the instant you go from conflict to harmony. You'll observe a slight but significant change in your experiences as you develop an optimistic and corrective perspective. Difficulties become less overwhelming, failures become learning experiences, and a profound sense of happiness and contentment starts to surface. This isn't just about achieving a few isolated victories, it's about a complete transformation of your being. As you master the art of right thinking, you'll develop a range of empowering qualities: unwavering willpower, laser-sharp focus, unshakable determination, and boundless creativity. You'll tap into your natural memory, appreciate beauty in all its forms, and radiate confidence, optimism, and good humor. These qualities aren't just side effects, they're essential building blocks for a life of true success and happiness. Right thinking brings clarity and precision to your actions, ensuring that your efforts yield predictable and fulfilling results. It's not about micromanaging every detail of your life, but about trusting in the divine wisdom that guides you while taking consistent action towards your goals. At first, old patterns and challenges may persist. You might even feel like things are getting worse before they get better. But with unwavering commitment, you'll notice a gradual shift. The intensity of your struggles will diminish, and a sense of steady progress will take hold. Eventually, your entire life will be transformed, and what once seemed like insurmountable obstacles will become stepping stones on your path to fulfillment. True happiness isn't found in external possessions or achievements. It's an inner state of being, a deep sense of peace and contentment that arises from aligning yourself with your true spiritual nature. Many people chase the illusion of happiness through material wealth, pleasure, and fleeting experiences. But those who have attained these things often find that true happiness remains elusive. It's like grasping at shimmering bubbles that burst upon contact, leaving only a sense of emptiness. True happiness lies within. It's about recognizing that you are a spiritual being, connected to the infinite source of all creation. When you embrace this profound truth, the burdens of anxiety, loneliness, and uncertainty fade away. You realize that you are not a powerless victim of circumstance, but a co-creator of your reality. The external issues will not go away as a result of this internal transformation. However, it alters your perception of them. You will confront challenges with courage and resilience, understanding that they present chances for personal development and transformation rather than feeling helpless or defeated. Aligning your intentions, behaviors, and ideas with the universe's divine flow is the key to finding true happiness. It's about realizing that every experience, even the bad ones, has a role in your personal development. You can live a life of deep joy, fulfillment, and unwavering peace by accepting this reality and making the required internal changes. True happiness isn't found in a life of self-centered pursuits. A life solely focused on personal gain leads to a sense of emptiness and ultimately disintegration. It's a path paved with discontent and despair. Instead, genuine fulfillment arises from service, a dedication to something larger than yourself. Whether it's serving your community, humanity as a whole, or the divine, this outward focus creates a sense of inner harmony and satisfaction. You can access a more profound feeling of purpose when you approach your everyday labor as an act of humility and love. As a conduit for divine energy, you experience the deep delight that results from serving the larger good. In the same way, growing happiness requires mastery over your thoughts. People who let fear, worry, wrath, or depression rule their thoughts foster an environment where unhappy things thrive. But you become the master of your inner world when you learn to master your ideas. A life of self-centered endeavors does not provide true satisfaction. Living a life that is only concerned with oneself brings emptiness and eventually breaks down. That's a route paved with discouragement and unhappiness. True fulfillment, on the other hand, comes from service, a commitment to something greater than oneself. This external focus brings about an inner sense of peace and fulfillment, whether it is by serving the divine, your community, or mankind at large. You can access a more profound feeling of purpose when you approach your everyday labor as an act of humility and love. As a conduit for divine energy, you experience the deep delight that results from serving the larger good. In the same way, growing happiness requires mastery over your thoughts. People who let fear, worry, wrath, or depression rule their thoughts foster an environment where unhappy things thrive. But you become the master of your inner world when you learn to master your ideas. Challenges and setbacks will inevitably arise, but they no longer have the power to derail you. Instead of dwelling on negativity, you can choose to focus on the positive, affirming the inherent goodness and perfection of the universe. This shift in perspective brings a sense of peace and unshakable joy. You tap into a wellspring of divine power, transcending limitations and living a life of tranquility and triumph. For those new to this philosophy, the idea of a transcendent spiritual reality might seem abstract or even unbelievable. The material world, with all its beauty and chaos, can feel like the only reality. But beneath the surface of the visible lies a deeper truth. The physical universe, with its ever-changing forms and endless evolution, is a manifestation of a perfect divine idea. It's a canvas upon which the divine mind paints its masterpiece. To deny the material world or label it as evil is to misunderstand the nature of creation. Matter is a vehicle for divine expression, a way for the spiritual to take form and color. It's the garment that clothes the spirit. True understanding lies in recognizing the interconnectedness of the spiritual and material. Both are essential aspects of the whole. To dismiss either one is to deny the fullness of God's creation. The power that animates the universe is spiritual. It's the divine mind in motion. This power is infinite and seeks to express itself through perfect health, harmony, and abundance. The presence of suffering and disharmony in the world simply reflects humanity's misalignment with this divine source. By cultivating right thinking and aligning your actions with the divine will, you become a channel for this boundless goodness. You contribute to the healing and transformation of the world, and in doing so, you experience the deepest and most enduring form of happiness. True prosperity isn't about amassing vast riches. It's about aligning your life with the natural flow of abundance. When we cling to a scarcity mindset, believing there's not enough to go around, we block the very blessings we seek. We create a self-fulfilling prophecy of lack and limitation. Instead, imagine a life where you feel supported and provided for, where you have enough to live comfortably and pursue your dreams without the burden of excessive wealth. This is the essence of true prosperity. The wise individual understands that excess can be as detrimental as scarcity. While lack creates hardship, excessive wealth can lead to its own set of burdens and anxieties. The key is to find a balance, to embrace a mindset of sufficiency without succumbing to greed. You might wonder, is it ethical to enjoy abundance while others struggle? This is a question each of us must answer for ourselves. However, it's important to remember that true prosperity isn't about hoarding resources. It's about using them to create a better world for all. When you dedicate your talents, thoughts, and energy to serving others, you tap into the universal law of giving and receiving. Abundance flows to those who contribute their unique gifts to the world. Conversely, those who try to manipulate or cheat the system, taking more than they give, ultimately undermine their own well-being. They might gain temporary material wealth, but they sacrifice the deeper satisfaction that comes from living a life of purpose and integrity. A thorough grasp of the universal laws that govern our life and selfless service are the paths that lead to true riches. You can eliminate the mental obstacles that lead to poverty by developing an attitude of abundance and bringing your beliefs into alignment with reality. You let the blessings that are truly yours to come into your life. You won't become a millionaire overnight as a result of this. It's all about gradually changing how you see and feel things. Previous worries and fears will go and be replaced with a strong sense of faith in the provision of the cosmos. You'll have complete confidence that you'll always have all you require to grow and prosper. This is a useful method for building an abundant and fulfilled life, not merely a feel-good ideology. You can realize your limitless potential by living according to the ideals of selfless service and good thinking. Knowing that you're in harmony with the flow of prosperity and that all of your needs will be satisfied will give you a deep sense of calm. Many people live in a constant state of anxiety about money, even those who possess considerable wealth. They're haunted by the fear of losing it all, of slipping into poverty and destitution. This deep-seated insecurity drives them to accumulate more and more, always chasing the elusive feeling of security. But true prosperity isn't about stockpiling riches. It's about cultivating an unshakable trust in the universe's abundance. When we cling to the belief that material possessions are our sole source of security, we become trapped in a cycle of fear and scarcity. The path to genuine abundance lies in recognizing that the true source of all provision is spiritual, not material. When you acknowledge your connection to this infinite source and express gratitude for its blessings, you open yourself to receive even greater abundance. This does not entail doing nothing but waiting for wealth to materialize. Real wealth demands activity from the inside as much as the outside. It's about thinking abundantly and doing practically to make a positive impact on the world. When work is done with love and dedication, it can bring happiness and contentment. It's a chance for you to share your special talents and advance society. This change in outlook turns work from an objective to a fulfilling manifestation of your purpose. It's not a get-rich-quick program, and right thinking won't suddenly transform poverty into wealth overnight. However, it does set the stage for long-term success. It teaches you how to overcome the limiting ideas and negative mind patterns that prevent you from moving forward. It assists you in harmonizing with the global laws of abundance, drawing in resources and opportunities that foster your development and welfare. As you consistently practice right thinking, you'll gradually dissolve the mental barriers that create scarcity. You'll replace fear with faith, lack with abundance, and anxiety with peace. This inner transformation will inevitably manifest in your outer world, leading to greater financial security and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Some might argue that pursuing personal prosperity is selfish, especially in a world where so many struggle to meet their basic needs. But true prosperity isn't about taking more than your fair share. It's about recognizing the infinite abundance of the universe and using your blessings to create a better world for all. Your inner reality is reflected in the conditions outside of you. You will experience lack and limitation in your life if those concepts dominate your mind. However, you can enter a world where all of your needs are satisfied and your aspirations come true if you change your attention to plenty and thankfulness. Recall that prosperity truly comes from a spiritual, not a material source. Your life will be truly fulfilled when your thoughts and deeds are in harmony with the divine flow of plenty. This will provide you with everything you require to prosper and positively influence the world. Imagine a world where your life is already envisioned as perfect, where every need is met, and where abundance flows freely. This isn't wishful thinking. It's the truth of your existence, woven into the very fabric of the universe. Our teachings aim to awaken you to this reality, to guide you towards a deeper understanding of your true nature. As you embrace this truth, you'll discover that the kingdom of abundance is within you, waiting to be revealed. The practical application of spiritual principles is the key to unlocking this limitless potential. By aligning your thoughts and actions with the divine flow, you'll experience a profound shift in your life. You'll witness your needs being met effortlessly and synchronistically, as if guided by an unseen hand. Look around you, and you'll see evidence of this abundance everywhere. Nature provides lavishly, from the countless acorns that give rise to a single oak tree to the vibrant blossoms that adorn the earth. The divine doesn't withhold its bounty. It flows freely and generously to all who are open to receive it. In the pursuit of material success, many of us feel defeated or overwhelmed. We might see ourselves as victims of circumstance, powerless against the forces of greed and competition. But there's a different way to live, a path that leads to true prosperity and lasting peace. The spiritual path isn't about fighting for scraps in a world of scarcity. It's about aligning yourself with the infinite source of abundance and allowing that abundance to flow through you. When you focus on serving the greater good and offering your unique gifts to the world, you tap into a wellspring of prosperity that can never run dry. This doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or setbacks, but you'll navigate them with a sense of grace and resilience, knowing that you're supported by a power far greater than yourself. True prosperity isn't about accumulating wealth at any cost. It's about living in harmony with the divine flow, receiving what you need while remaining free from the burdens of excess. It's about recognizing that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of your inner being. The same principle applies to health and healing. Perfect health is your birthright, a natural expression of your divine nature. When you experience illness or dis-ease, it's a sign that you're out of alignment with this truth. By consciously choosing thoughts and actions that resonate with the divine blueprint, you can restore harmony to your body and mind. You can tap into the infinite healing power that flows through all of creation, experiencing vibrant health and well-being. This isn't just about the absence of disease. It's about feeling fully alive, energized, and joyful. It's about experiencing a deep sense of connection to the source of all life, recognizing the divinity within yourself and all around you. As you embrace this truth, you'll radiate health and vitality. You'll become a beacon of light, inspiring others to reclaim their own well-being. You'll discover that true healing isn't just possible, it's your natural state. Have you ever felt like a victim of circumstance, trapped by forces beyond your control? Many people lament their bad luck, believing that misfortune follows them relentlessly. They see themselves as powerless against the whims of fate. But what if this perception is merely an illusion? The truth is, there's no such thing as random chance or luck in the universe. Everything operates according to precise, unwavering laws. The ancient notion of appeasing an angry deity is rooted in a misunderstanding of these divine laws. Thankfully, we live in a universe governed by justice and impartiality, not favoritism or wrath. There's no need to flatter or appease. The law simply is, what you sow, you reap. This might seem daunting, but it's actually incredibly empowering. You connect to an unfailing source of support when you conduct yourself in accordance with divine rule. Your life serves as an example of the effectiveness of moral decision-making and behavior. Although it's not always possible to predict exactly how things will work out, you can be sure that good things will happen in the end. Think about the individual who has endured years of suffering from a chronic ailment in spite of several therapies and consultations. A shift starts when they at last adopt a healing mindset and bring their ideas into alignment with divine completeness. Even though it might not be noticeable at first, they are getting better every day. This idea holds true for all aspects of your life. Positive transformation is created by deliberately selecting ideas and deeds that are in line with the divine law. Your surroundings and situations start to mirror the inner harmony. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It requires persistence, dedication, and unwavering faith, even when results aren't immediately apparent. But rest assured, the law always responds. The power of your aligned thoughts and actions will inevitably manifest in your external reality. Think of prayer as a focused intention, a conscious alignment with the divine will. When your prayers are sincere and your actions are in accordance with them, only good can come. It might not always look the way you expect, but it will always be the highest good for your growth and evolution. As you embrace this understanding, you'll realize that you're not a passive observer in the grand scheme of things. You are a co-creator of your reality, empowered to shape your destiny through the power of your thoughts and actions. Some might argue that certain events, like birth circumstances or the loss of loved ones, are beyond our control. While it's true that we can't control every external event, we can control our response to them. We can choose to focus on the positive, to find meaning in even the most challenging experiences, and to use them as catalysts for growth and transformation. The journey of life is not a predetermined train ride with a fixed destination. It's a dynamic adventure filled with endless possibilities. By embracing the power of right thinking and aligning yourself with the divine flow, you become the master of your fate, navigating life's twists and turns with grace, wisdom, and unwavering purpose. Life's events, it could be argued, are already laid out in their entirety, waiting to unfold as we encounter them. However, our awareness is limited, only allowing us to experience these moments as life compels us to face them one by one. The inability to see the end from the beginning is a consequence of our consciousness's limitations. There are those who delve into what is termed the occult sciences, a field shrouded in mystery and often met with skepticism. While our knowledge of these matters is neither deep nor fueled by great interest, we acknowledge just enough to entertain the possibility that there may be some truth to the claims made by practitioners of these arts. Even as skeptics, we have had to concede that there is a measure of accuracy in their predictions and calculations. Despite our general inclination to dismiss astrology and similar practices, we have come to recognize that skilled astrologers can sometimes offer a reasonable forecast of a person's life. However, this is true only to the extent that an individual allows themselves to be a mere pawn of fate, driven by impulses and subject to external circumstances. The moment a person begins to harness their inner powers, the astrologer's predictions fall short, for such an individual no longer follows a predetermined path. Instead, they chart their own destiny. When a person turns to the divine for guidance, and elevates their thoughts toward the heavens, they rise above the influences and impulses that would otherwise lead them into error and misfortune. Resisting temptation through the strength of the spirit and directing one's thoughts toward higher ideals breaks the bonds that confine them, liberating them from the life outlined by the stars. By mastering our thoughts and refusing to allow them to follow a lower course, directing them instead toward a loftier goal, we free ourselves from our shackles. In essence, we take control of our destiny. Our mention of astrology serves merely to illustrate our perspective. What is commonly referred to as fate only pertains to the natural man and is transcended when we employ our inner powers, elevate our thoughts, and aspire to greater and nobler things. The life of an awakened individual cannot be predicted, for they have become a liberated soul, free from the laws of sin and death, discovering a new path of victory and self-improvement. To paraphrase Henry Victor Morgan, they gaze into the heart of the divine and become the master of their destiny. Self-confidence is a crucial element in this journey. Many capable, ambitious individuals with brilliant ideas falter not because they lack the necessary qualities, but because they lack confidence and faith in their own abilities. This confidence and faith are invaluable possessions of all successful people. Every person who has achieved success is marked by a profound confidence in themselves, while every failure we have observed lacks this vital spiritual quality. For it is indeed a spiritual quality, and without it, victory is unattainable. Right thinking cultivates self-confidence by eliminating fear. Many would give anything to be free of fear and doubt, yet this freedom is attainable, and the process is not difficult. However, the true key lies in discovering the wonders of one's inner spiritual and mental powers, exercising and gradually applying them. As the student of life becomes aware of their limitless powers and the inexhaustible resources at their disposal, a deep-seated confidence and absolute faith in these inner powers take root. Instead of asking, "Can I do this?" they affirm, "I can do this," and believing in their own words, they succeed, trusting in their inner powers which never fail. The naturally successful person believes in themselves and thus succeeds. The practiced student, on the other hand, believes in the unlimited powers of the universal mind, from which they can draw using their own mental power whenever needed. Moreover, with knowledge and understanding of the law, they are forewarned against making the mistakes that less knowledgeable individuals are prone to. Therefore, knowledge of the truth not only dispels fear and fosters self-confidence and faith in one's inner mental and spiritual powers, but also imparts the wisdom through which life can be steered toward lasting success and abundance. When a person truly understands their oneness with the infinite, fear loses its grip on them, and confidence becomes a natural state of being. They become aware that all divine forces are at their disposal, eager to obey their will and serve their purpose. Though their feet may still tread the earth, their mind dwells in the presence of the divine, and their heart pulses with the boundless power of the universe. This harmony with the infinite brings peace, for the philosophy of right thinking is not merely theoretical, but profoundly practical. Among its most valuable teachings is the realization that there exists a higher realm of consciousness, one that is within reach for anyone willing to practice and persevere. With diligent practice, we can ascend to this superior mental realm, retreating into it as a sanctuary from the turbulence of everyday life. From this elevated perspective, we can observe the chaos and feverish struggles of the world below with a sense of detachment. In this higher plane of consciousness, one is utterly free from anxiety, worry, frustration, fear, and despair, those shadows that so often darken our lives and trouble our minds. From this vantage point, all the ambitions, conflicts, and selfish desires of material existence shrink to their true proportions. We see things illuminated by the light of eternity from a universal standpoint, and this vision purifies the mind, dissolving all anxieties and allowing us to enter into perfect peace. However, those unpracticed in controlling their thoughts may find it impossible to enter this higher mental realm simply by reading these words. The reason is that they have yet to master their minds and do not know how to direct their thoughts. Only through the disciplined control of thought and the power of concentration can one banish all worries and anxieties from the mind and enter the realm of perfect peace and calm. Yet, it is crucial to remember that controlling thought alone is not enough. One must also realign their life with the universal laws that govern the cosmos. Students of this higher knowledge are taught how to discard fear and adopt a mental attitude that harmonizes with the divine plan. When the right mental attitude is achieved, the student enters into harmony with the very purpose of life itself, uniting with the divine, thinking in concert with the divine, and immersing themselves in divine consciousness. They dwell perpetually in the peace of the infinite, embodying the highest ideals of character and self-mastery. The ultimate goal of this life is the development of character. Life is an opportunity given to us to cultivate our character in specific ways. For instance, one person might need to overcome fear and worry and develop confidence. All their life experiences will present them with opportunities to combat this weakness. Another person may need to overcome greed and selfishness and will likewise be given the chance to battle these tendencies. Regardless of the weakness, it must be overcome. To let life pass by without confronting and conquering these weaknesses is to miss the true purpose of existence. Whatever the flaw may be, it must be subdued. Every genuine mental discipline offers methods for overcoming weaknesses. These methods, though not an easy or swift path to victory, such a path does not exist, are invaluable aids on the journey toward triumph and success. Those who have yet to discover their inner spiritual powers often try to overcome challenges solely through the force of will. This approach is painful, inefficient, and exhausting. The will should never be used in this way. Instead, the inner spiritual power, guided by the will, should be employed. It is only through this means that true and lasting victory can be achieved. All weaknesses and destructive habits can be conquered by the conscious use of this inner power, but not without effort. It is a battle between what can be called the higher soul and the animal soul, the superior and the inferior. This is a battle that must be won, and wisdom lies in choosing to win it now. Self-mastery is possible only through the control of thought, for every action is born from thought. Those who cannot control their thoughts will never master themselves. They are destined to be slaves to their emotions and passions, and will fall prey to any hostile influence that comes their way. Those who find themselves trapped in the grip of habit, unable to break free despite their struggles and anxieties, could experience the profound joy of victory and inner mastery if only they understood the divine power within them and learned to control their thoughts. The same applies to every weakness of character. No matter what the flaw, it can be conquered through patient effort, by tapping into the infinite power within, by mastering the mind, and by focusing on constructive and harmonious thought. Within each of us lies a spark of divine perfection, and the highest purpose of this life is to express that divinity. We can only do so by shaping our character, mastering our habits, and learning self-discipline. Inspiration, intuition, originality, and the use of the inner mind are essential tools in this journey. The ordinary mind, reliant on sensory experiences, external knowledge, and the opinions of others, lacks true inspiration, originality, and genius. All genuine inspiration comes from within, from the divine forces that dwell in us, though they often remain latent and unexpressed. Inspiration is one such force. Those who regularly practice entering the secret place of the Most High achieve a level of inspiration and direct knowledge that transcends ordinary understanding. This is not the domain of the spiritualist, but the realm of those who, through inner inspiration, have answered the call to service and achievement. Emerson, for instance, would retreat to the forest to listen to its voice. The great inventors of our time have had brilliant ideas, but these ideas did not come from external sources. They emerged from within. Similarly, the power of intuition, or direct knowing, resides within us, waiting to be developed and used for our guidance and the benefit of others. Developing these powers requires time and patience, but once attained, they connect us with the profound wisdom of the divine. True originality also springs from within. The superficial mind can only imitate the work of others and deduce conclusions from known facts. In contrast, True originality arises from our inner connection with the divine. Those who embark on new endeavors or introduce novel ideas to humanity do so because they are divinely guided and instructed. Each of us, whether we realize it or not, is an instrument of the divine mind, used to illuminate and guide others. By looking inward, into our divine center, we learn to think constructively and creatively. We enter into communion with God and become co-creators with the divine. Those who learn to use their inner mind will find themselves well equipped for the journey of life, for when they face challenges, they will find solutions through this inner wisdom. It is said of Abraham, a true giant among men, that when faced with a difficult problem, he would set it aside from his conscious mind and focus on other matters. In time, he would return to the problem, only to find it resolved by his inner mind. Many successful people, when confronted with seemingly insurmountable difficulties, refrain from making decisions until they have consulted with their inner mind, often while sleeping. They unconsciously allow their inner mind to resolve the issue during sleep. Those who live a pure and virtuous life, aspiring to God and seeking only the noblest and best, will be guided to the highest good by their inner mind and will learn to express the divinity within them in service to others. True success can only be achieved through spiritual power. Those who fail to succeed do so because they do not know how to harness their inner mental and spiritual powers. Professor Waller, a historian, writing on the spiritual foundations of civilization, notes that there is no antagonism between the spiritual and the material. Far from being opposed, all material benefits that are good for humanity have been discovered and made attainable through the use of spiritual powers. Moreover, as long as we live in this world, the exercise of our spiritual powers depends on our physical well-being, on the air, food, and drink that sustain us. Economic advantages are real goods of great importance, but they are especially valuable because they tend to fall largely into the hands of spiritually vigorous races, those with the energy and skill to make the best use of them. In our time, more than ever in our history, we need the secular spiritual gifts without which civilization cannot remain stable. We need powers of leadership, organization, foresight, imagination, and initiative at all levels. These gifts are there. God has poured them out abundantly upon the human race. There is a spiritual power that contributes not only to success, but also to righteousness, and it demands righteousness as a condition for achieving lasting success. Success, therefore, depends on spiritual power. Truly lasting success can only be attained when it is grounded in righteousness, integrity, honesty, fairness, justice, and compassion for others. Any success built on cunning, mental coercion, unscrupulousness, injustice, and cruelty towards others carries within it the seed of its own downfall. At the heart of existence, coursing through the very fabric of life and the universe, lies an infinite principle of good. Recognizing this profound truth is the first step toward a life of genuine happiness and lasting success. When we consciously align ourselves with this boundless goodness, we open the floodgates to a life of extraordinary power and achievement. God, the source of all creation, is this infinite good. Divine power and divine life flow through all things, benevolent and pure. There is no malice in the grand design. When we gaze upon a simple wildflower, our souls intuitively grasp this truth. There is no evil in God, only infinite good. We humans are endowed with the divine power of thought. Thought is the mind in action, a spiritual force far surpassing any material power. Yet, through misuse of this power, we can divert the benevolent forces of life into misguided channels, creating what we perceive as evil. The battlefield, the tavern, the act of suicide. These are all manifestations of misdirected thought. The collective power of misguided thinking creates the illusion of evil. If all humanity embraced thoughts of love and harmony, war and discord would vanish from the earth. Our greatest teachers have urged us to think in this way, yet tragically, their wisdom often goes unheeded. We witness the absurdity of nations claiming to follow the same benevolent God, engaging in brutal conflict. The energy emanating from the divine source can be channeled by our thoughts, for good or ill. Right thinking directs this energy towards harmony, peace, abundance, and joy. All that comes from God is good, and the supreme good is God. There is no other. When we turn our faces toward the divine, we need not fear any opposing force. Distractions may arise, whispers may tempt us, but nothing can truly separate us from the source of all goodness. By aligning our thoughts with the divine, we live in harmony with the infinite good, and our lives become a radiant expression of it. Erroneous thinking can manifest as illness, poverty, misery, and disharmony. But by thinking with God rather than against, we can manifest health, abundance, and profound fulfillment. We can achieve peace and live a life of unimaginable joy and triumph. The spiritual path is not at odds with material progress. True fulfillment is an upward journey of the soul, ascending from the lower to the higher. It's not an easy path, but it leads to a state of perfect peace. Embarking on this journey doesn't condemn one to a life of poverty or failure. In fact, our outer lives should reflect the progress of our inner lives. The two should support and enhance each other. In our inner lives, we learn the secrets of divine power, strength, and perfection. In our outer lives, we express these qualities through genuine success and meaningful relationships. Worldly achievements have no inherent spiritual value, but the process of overcoming challenges to attain them can profoundly shape our character. Building a vast enterprise, for example, may not be spiritually significant in itself, but it demands qualities like patience, courage, perseverance, and integrity. These qualities, forged in the crucible of overcoming obstacles, become permanent treasures of the soul. The external world provides opportunities to manifest divine power and develop the character traits required for achievement. Not everyone is meant to build empires or become renowned figures, but each of us has the potential to excel in our chosen field. By embracing our work, overcoming its challenges, and striving for excellence, we shape our character and acquire qualities that will endure. Even if worldly success eludes us, we can find deep satisfaction in performing our work to the best of our ability, perhaps even better than it's ever been done before. Remember, life is not solely governed by human striving. It operates according to spiritual laws and powers. No matter how bleak our circumstances may seem, nothing can prevent us from rising and improving ourselves. The only limitations are those we impose upon ourselves. Life is spiritual at its core, governed by inner laws. As soon as we're ready for advancement, we achieve it. When we rise above one level, a new and more expansive one opens before us. The history of human progress is a testament to this principle of mental expansion. If our future seems dim, it's only because we believe it to be so. By aligning our thoughts with the infinite good, embracing our inner power, and striving for excellence in all we do, we unlock a life of boundless potential and true fulfillment. True growth doesn't begin with external achievements, but with an internal expansion. Consider the stories of those who built empires from humble beginnings. They didn't think small. Their minds were filled with visions of vast possibilities. While their present reality might have been limited, their thoughts soared towards abundance. This mental expansion paved the way for the opportunities that transformed their dreams into reality. The same principle applies to all aspects of life. Before we can achieve great things in the world, we must first grow and expand within ourselves, and this growth begins with our thoughts. We must train our minds to think big, to envision a life of limitless potential. Then we must align our actions with this vision, embracing the discipline and dedication required for progress. Only individuals with harmonic thoughts can lead harmonious lives. Our interior landscape is reflected in the outside world. If there is discord in our lives, it is because there is disharmony inside of us. When we connect our inner selves with life's meaning and the grand scheme of God's plan, we experience true serenity. It is simple to place the blame for our problems on outside forces, such as life, fate, other people, or even God. However, our discord actually stems from within. Our problems grow more ingrained in us the more we look for outside causes for our problems. aligning ourselves with the divine purpose that gives life to the entire cosmos, is the path to true harmony. Our lives become harmonious on the inside when we turn towards this source, and this calm is reflected in our external existence. We think with God, labor with God, and live in God. Our lives take on the form of manifestations of divine peace and love, which soothe everyone around us. Pessimism, on the other hand, is a rejection of the divine ideal. God is the unending optimist who always succeeds in everything. The divine intellect does not allow for failure, hopelessness, or uncertainty. To think with God is to understand that everything in the lovely cosmos is fundamentally well, even in spite of outward appearances. The pessimist does not see the eternal perfection that lies beyond. Instead, they only see the darkness. Their own hopelessness causes them to become caught in a vicious circle of negativity, endangering their success and well-being. Pessimism is a self-inflicted wound that casts oneself and others in darkness. In order to attain a harmonious connection with the divine, we need to swap out our pessimistic view for an optimistic and hopeful one. The spiritual path is an ascension to higher states of existence rather than a retreat from the outside world. It's a path of ongoing development and advancement. While this path may seem challenging, it leads to a state of perfect peace and fulfillment. Embracing this journey doesn't mean neglecting our worldly responsibilities or rejecting material success. In fact, our outer lives should reflect the progress of our inner journey. Material achievements, while not spiritually significant in themselves, can contribute to our growth by challenging us to develop qualities like patience, courage, and perseverance. These qualities, honed through overcoming obstacles, become lasting treasures of the soul. Whether we're building empires or simply striving to excel in our daily tasks, we all have the opportunity to achieve success in our own unique way. By embracing our work, overcoming challenges, and constantly seeking improvement, we shape our character and acquire qualities that will endure. Remember, life is not solely governed by human effort. It operates according to spiritual laws and powers. No matter how daunting our circumstances, we have the power to rise above them. Our progress is limited only by our own beliefs and choices. Life is a spiritual journey, guided by inner laws. As we become ready for advancement, it unfolds before us. The history of human achievement is a testament to this principle of mental and spiritual expansion. So, let us embrace an expansive mindset, filled with optimism and hope. Let us align our thoughts and actions with the divine purpose, and strive for excellence in all we do. In doing so, we unlock the boundless potential within us and create a life of true harmony, success, and fulfillment. True understanding of God banishes pessimism. To know the divine is to embrace optimism, for at the heart of creation lies an unshakable goodness. This philosophy of truth instills a deep-seated belief that the Creator knows the workings of the universe, and that within it all is inherently good. From an absolute perspective, there is no power greater than God's, and that power is benevolent. By aligning ourselves with this infinite love, we naturally attract peace, happiness, abundance, and health into our lives. These blessings are not distant promises, but immediate possibilities available here and now. The greatest of all virtues is charity, or love, a selfless desire for the well-being of others. Cultivating thoughts of love, compassion, forgiveness, and goodwill not only benefits those around us, but also brings harmony and happiness to our own lives. The timeless wisdom to love our enemies and do good to those who harm us is not a burden, but a gateway to a richer, freer life. By embracing this principle, we invite blessings into our lives and navigate challenges with grace. When we encounter difficult people, instead of reacting with negativity, we can choose to actively wish them well. This shift in perspective can transform a tense situation into one of harmony. Conversely, dwelling on grievances only amplifies our own suffering and creates further discord. By choosing compassion and understanding, we can dissolve negativity and foster connection. When we strive to see the world through another's eyes, to appreciate their struggles and recognize their inherent goodness, even the most challenging relationships can transform. Love is the key that unlocks every situation. It has the power to mend brokenness, ease difficulties, and bring about divine realignment. When we genuinely love one another, as we are called to do, our lives become harmonious, beautiful, and joyful. Many have struggled to follow this teaching, seeing it as a mere commandment to be obeyed out of duty. But it's far more than that. It's an invitation to a life of unimaginable joy and freedom. Understanding this truth makes the path easier, for we're naturally drawn towards that which we find meaningful and fulfilling. Loving our enemies doesn't mean we have to like them or develop feelings of affection. It's about cultivating goodwill, compassion, and a willingness to put their needs before our own. It's about recognizing the divine spark within them, even when it's obscured by their actions. Thought and mental discipline can be powerful tools in this process. Our natural impulse may be to resent our enemies, but we can choose a different path. We can consciously cultivate thoughts of goodwill and compassion, praying for their blessings and well-being. Even if these feelings aren't genuine at first, the power of the spoken word, the concrete expression of our thoughts, can initiate a gradual transformation. With persistence, we may find ourselves genuinely loving our enemies and praying for their happiness as fervently as we do for our loved ones. When we reach this point, all situations are resolved, and our lives become a testament to the transformative power of love.